The purpose of this video is to edify. Well, I pray it does. Fully equipped in riot gear, shields, guns, suited in representation of the United States Police Force, the Capitol Police, that is. Their ears are dug in, they're pressed against the wall, they're pushing with all their might, but the force that seems to be pushing against them seems as if it's greater than the force that they're applying. It seems at the point as if they're powerless. They are trying to avoid there being a bloodbath, that lives are lost, and so they do not go for their guns, and they are being beaten. Two or so lost their lives at that point in time. But it seems like those that represent the Capitol Police, a representation of the power of the U.S. Police, was weaker or powerless to stop the offenders, the mob that came against them. It seems as if they were powerless. The symbol of power today in our society is a political leader with a strong fighting machine, over 1,000,000 men ready to go up against any force. A air force with pilots that can fly and deliver a payload with pinpoint accuracy. And it seems as if its representation is a navy with ships and submarines that can dive to depths and then come up to deliver bombs from a distance, making it be clear that you go up against us, the chances of you having victory are slim to none. The Army, the Air Force, the Marine, the Navy, the country with the greatest standards of nuclear capacity is considered the most powerful country in the world. Simply put, a strong man, muscle bound, a person that's able to run a long distance, an individual that can swim for miles, an individual that can cycle for miles, a person that's the fastest man on the planet that has set the record or the standard, it's considered to be powerful. So what of the individuals who are at the Capitol? They're considered to be powerless because they were pressed back, pushed down, beaten upon, and taken over, run over, disarmed. How do we look on it? In comparison to a person who's surrounded by individuals who's wailing away at him, and if he is beaten to the ground and kicked to a pulp, he lays there and he takes it, he's considered powerless. But if he was able to find his footing and fight and fend off the offenders and put them back on their heels and knock them to the ground, he'd be considered to be powerful. But wait, what if he was able to avoid the blows and walk away from the conflict, control his response, and make good decisions even under pressure? Is that any indication of power? Because power simply is the ability to do or to act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. So wait a second. The individuals who at the Capitol responded without causing a bloodshed are actually the ones who were powerful. Do you see it? The individuals who responded with the right responses and were not acting in a terrible manner like the individuals who were pressing them, pushing them, and overrunning them actually are the symbols of power. Because the ability to do or to act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality, especially in what you decide to do in your mind, to set a standard of behavior that's better than anywhere else. Whenever you find a person that sets a standard of behavior that's different, because behavior is simple to act, most individuals you come across are going to tell you they're going to do something, and it's disappointing when I cannot deliver. If I told you I'm going to do something and I'm not able to deliver, then chances are it's disappointing. It's a turn off for someone to say that they're going to do and they're not able to do. But it's the greatest thing to look at is individuals who are trained and ready to respond, who are told the best response to bring about in a situation, and under utter duress and pressure, they're able to make choices that is beneficial. They're able to behave. We spend so much time celebrating individuals who are strong and able to do things, and we talk about the rich and powerful and individual society who are able to fight and fend off 4-5 different attackers, but we don't celebrate good behavior, unfortunately, when good behavior is the very essence of power. Because the majority of the people that we come across in our day-to-day and in our lives are individuals who are an example of making choices that don't fit. But when you find an individual is able, look through your life, look through history. When you find an individual who sets the standard for doing what he thinks is the right thing to do, he set the standard for good behavior. He set the standard for doing what is best for society, setting the standard of what builds the building block of unity, set the standard of what it means to... So many individuals are failing every single day. Let's applaud and look to. Let's look for examples of record-breaking standard of good behavior. Person who could hold up under pressure, who could make the choices even not just because they don't want to avoid bloodshed, but because it's the right thing to do. What if in this society, the United States of America, the standard was set to say how to demonstrate the right conduct, and it came from the individuals that were considered to be in power. It came from the individuals that we look to. Because if we are looking to someone, and that someone is not an example of good behavior, then that actually person is not a good example of power. Quite often we're looking to individuals who have money and who have prestige and who have fame. But the truth of the matter is, can we ever find a person who is able to conduct themselves properly, to not fall into the pitfalls, to not mess up and do the wrong things, to not hurt others? And that there is a symbol of power, a person who can demonstrate the right conduct. You see, going back to the definition, to do or be able to act in a particular way, especially as of faculty, as of thinking, as of the mind, and as of a standard. When you find a standard of good behavior, they call it a saint. And in today's society, more than any time before, there needs to be a focus on a standard of saintly, solid, good behavior. That there is another key to success. The power, the ability to act or to do in a particular situation, especially as a faculty or as of quality behavior that's exemplary, that anyone would be looking on, would appreciate and respect the conduct that is set, that is displayed in a particular situation where a person could choose to do otherwise. Power. Think about it. God bless you.